Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Who that nation? Yeah, I'm still a diehard. Although I haven't been making my little commentary of my post-game reactions, but I don't think anybody is missing anything with this 2022 edition of the New Orleans Saints. But let's just dive straight into it. I have been saying over and over for basically the last 5 to 6 years that the New Orleans Saints organization is not the brightest organization that there is out of the 32 NFL teams. And the reason being is because we have an owner that is not really knowledgeable of football. Tom Benson wasn't. Gail Benson surely hell isn't. She's doing a great job with the New Orleans Pelicans. I don't know who she has running the show, but whoever she has running the show, he's doing a great and incredible job with it. They have a black GM over there also. But the New Orleans Saints, on the flip side of it, love, it's family oriented. And that is a problem. See, when it comes down to business and personal, you got to keep business and keep personal personal. The New Orleans Saints organization, if they like a guy, they keep a guy. They'll let a guy go that may be better than him just because they like him. And the history of Dennis Allen still remaining the head coach, possibly coming back as the head coach next year, is because of a family tie. Like, they like this person. They want to see this person succeed or exceed. But, I mean, the proof is obvious. He's not getting what you would want from the players from a reaction standpoint. He's not getting the acknowledgement, the support from the players. The situation that he did with Jameis Winston, that's first and foremost the biggest problem with him. Like, nobody going to respect you after that. Jameis Winston goes down just like last year. And basically, he loses his job for the remainder of the year. You want to go to Andy Dalton, but you forgot or you failed to realize that Andy Dalton had a Hall of Fame receiver in Cincinnati and couldn't win a playoff game with him. So what are we missing? Jameis Winston, we know that this man is a college champion. We know that he came into the league. He did the same thing, put up the same numbers as Brett Favre, 30 for 30, touchdown interception ratio or whatever. Dalton ain't surpassed that. Dalton, I don't believe, ever even throw for 5,000 yards, but it's a personal matter that I believe Sean Payton still has his ties into that told Dennis Allen to keep on Dalton at the head of the quarterback position. It gotta suck to be Jameis Winston. I mean, you're getting paid, so I can understand you playing the backfield and not even tripping, but this is the second year in a row that this has happened to you, love. The first year with Sean Payton, he had you on a leash, basically, saying that you can't throw the ball here, you can't throw the ball there, trying to give you a dip and dunk situation type of offensive scheme. And it sucks. Sean Payton offensive scheme basically is designed, take 10 players out, put 10 players in. We run a play after play. Is not going to be open for said player. That the play is basically over. The offense that we have is as high school. It's like basically if you put John Curtis against the New Orleans Saints, I promise you, John Curtis will bang with him. Wes Jeff will bang with him. You got college and high school teams that I know for sure go toe-to-toe with them. Like, there's no kind of swagger within the offensive schemes. Man, Sean Payton didn't realize that the whole NFL surpassed him when it came down to offense. Offensive weapons, trash. Offensive scheme, trash. Your drafting when it comes down to offensive positions, trash. You took Traquan Smith in the second round a couple of years ago. He can't even touch the field right now. Trash. Even at the beginning of Sean Payton election, being a head coach, Devery Henderson, nobody else was targeting to get Booby. Robert Meacham, nobody else was targeting to go snatch him out the first and second round. It's like you always find these players, players that left there and fit your description of an NFL pro. You want a blue-collar player who's going to be a yes man, who's going to show up to practice 5 minutes early, going to leave practice an hour late. Look, love, that is not what you need to win a championship. You always want to go grab these players from Ohio State or go grab these players from Appalachian State or FSU. Like, you scared to target the most elite players. That's been his failure, been his flaw since he came into the league. We won a Super Bowl with him, and I knew from that point when we won a Super Bowl with Sean Payton that he was going to be there for 20-plus years. And that's exactly what happened. The only way that he was going to resign or quit from the New Orleans Saints was by him retiring or him, unfortunately, getting killed. God forbid that. But anyway, that's always been Sean Payton's story. And a lot of players, or a lot of Who That Nation fans want to see Sean Payton back. Love, if you think about it, Sean Payton basically did everything Dennis Allen doing right now repetitiously. We had a lot of W's with Sean Payton at the helm, but the losses that we sustained with this man was detrimental and heartbreaking. You can go back to the Minneapolis, Minnesota Miracle. Second and 1, third and 1. You can give the ball to Alvin Kamara. You can give the ball to Mark Ingram. You want to throw with Drew Brees. We could go back to the losses when we was getting blew out in a game and he kept Drew Brees in there just so he could sustain a record. Like, this man had heart for the first 2 years and got big-headed. You know, the Super Bowl championship was at the hands of Greg Williams and Drew Brees. Sean Payton had every reason, was about to make every reason for us to lose that game. You go for it on 4th and goal. You run a triple reverse in the Super Bowl. You had the commentators at halftime saying that I wish Sean Payton would stop trying to impress us with his playbook and let these dudes play. You come out and do the onside kick, you would have lost that, he would have got fired. You see what I'm saying? Like, Sean Payton is not who that nation makes him out to be. But the reason, basically the topic of my discussion with the Who That Nation, love, everything comes down to the boiling point with this draft. We are more miss than hit. Like, let's say this year here, Chris Olave, love the guy. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he would have went first or second round for sure. But I'm pretty sure that no other of the 31 other NFL teams would have gave up a first-round pick to move up 4 picks to pick him. My thing is, if you're going to go head over to get a player like how San Fran did with Trey Lance, get a player that everybody knows is going to be good. Although Trey Lance, the situation didn't work with him or not working with him. Love, do that with Justin Jefferson. Give up a first-round pick for Jamar Chase. Give up the bank for a player that's there already. Nobody looked at Chris Olave and said that he was going to come in and be a Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson. Why pick him? You gave up a first-round pick for him when you could have got him at that spot. Made no sense. You gave up a first-round pick for Marcus Davenport when you could have drafted him at that spot. You draft Peyton Turner, who didn't even think he was going to get drafted in the first round. You drafted Cesar Ruiz, who said he was surprised he got drafted in the first round. So with these first-round picks, we are just trashing and tanking. Marshawn Lattimore, the reason we got him at the 14, 15, or the 16 pick, whatever it was, because he had 3 shoulder surgeries inside of college. He only played 13 games his whole college career. Nobody else was going to take a chance at that. We took a chance, and it was a good one. We hit. But we're way more miss than hit. C.J. Charlie Johnson, we got a hit with him. But because y'all don't like his demeanor and his approach to the game and the way that he talks back or represents himself or stands up for himself, you get rid of him. It's a family-oriented team who want nothing but white-collar players. Nobody on the NFL team is elite, but outside of Marshawn Lattimore. That's the only one. A lot of people like Kamara. They say that he's a top 5 running back, and I don't see it. Talking back to Alvin Kamara's college days, he didn't start at Alabama, never saw the field. He went to Tennessee, and he basically was a backup. Sean Payton said, hey, watch what I can do with this 3rd-round pick. And after he returned the ball against San Diego in the kickoff in the preseason, I knew that Sean Payton was going to be stuck with him. Because you show him a little peep, and that's it with him. Basically, Alvin Kamara glory days was when Mark Ingram and him was in the backfield on a 1-2 punch, like a Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott type of deal. Ever since Mark Ingram been gone, homie ain't been shit. Alvin Kamara hasn't had more than 10 games rushing over 100 yards yet. I can't tell you the last time he rushed for over 1,000 yards. Yeah, people be playing the statistic games. I don't do the statistics with this. He's not a Saquon Barkley. He's not a Derrick Henry for sure. He's not a Josh Jacobs for sure. There's a lot of backs out there. He's not a Tony Pollard. Alvin Kamara's not even that fast. But like I said, the New Orleans Saints organization is a family organization. If we like a player, we love a player, he's that. That's not how it go. This is a business. You know what I mean? Like Michael Thomas. Let him go. I mean, I love him to death, but what have you done for me lately? Let him go. Cameron Jordan, his supposed glory days been gone. Let him go. How are we an organization that basically is in the last five in cap space, but don't have an all-pro talent on the team? Like I said, I'm still speaking about draft, the misses. Cameron Jordan, nobody ever called the New Orleans Saints phone trying to get him. So why pay him a lump sum of money? Marcus Davenport, like I said, nobody was going to pick him. So why y'all go give up a first-round pick for the guy? We are more missed than hit. Trevon Penning, he's a nasty offensive tackle. We ain't been seeing none of that yet. That boy looks soft as shit on that field. Traquan Smith, second-round pick. He's on a practice team basically now. Where's the draft picks that laid up there is laying up there and contributing for us that we gave up multitudes of money, boatloads of money for, boatloads of draft pick for? Marcus Davenport probably won't start on another team. Cameron Jordan, the highest sack total he ever had in college was 5. He got the streak of having 7+ sacks, and everybody like, bro, his sacks come off to the NFC South. You play those people 2 times a year. You basically know who you're going up against. I never saw Cam Jordan close out a game for us. Never saw Cam Jordan get a strip sack for us to close out a game. The linebacker core, I like Pete Warner. You know what I mean? Is he an all-pro talent? No. I like Demario Davis. Is he an all-pro talent? No. Caden Allen probably wouldn't start for another team. Man, I swear, bro. It's like we attack the free agency and to see what players declining so we can give them less money for a year. You're not going to win like that. They all approach with this GM, Mickey Loomis, you're trash. You gave the NFL leader intercepts up for a 5th and a 6th round pick. But on the flip side, you gave up a 4th, 5th, 6th, and a 7th for Adam Troutman. And he ain't even producing at all. There's an undrafted free agent that we got, Johnson, doing way better than, surpassed him way better than he ever did in his career. In 1 year, basically. From the wide receiver core. You can't draft a wide receiver to save your life. Michael Thomas was a 2nd-round pick. He contribute, but like I said, what have you done for me lately? Chris Olave, you didn't have to give up a first to get a first. Didn't make sense. Then now look at it. On the flip side, your 1st-round pick may be a top 10 pick. You gave him up to the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, that's not semi-rivalry for us. Like, we're not going to see him again. I just really, like, it's really, like, embarrassing and it's discouraging watching the Saints and being a Saints fan because out of the 32 NFL team, you're the least competitive one. You have a bunch of guys, when they go in the trenches, get talked to like they're little children on the field. If you seen the Atlanta game today, how they run over them and just talk to them stupid. I feel bad for Tyrann Mathieu. You came back to the city and you see how soft the city, the NFL team really is. Marcus May. These players can't produce how they produced on other teams because they're not playing amongst players of that caliber anymore. That's like if 2 players play chess. One is good and one is bad. That good player, if you continue to play the bad player, your game is going to weaken also. It's kind of hard fighting a battle. You and 10 other people, and you the only one that's really fighting with your heart. It's hard. Parsons Adebo, we hit with that. It's a nice pick. Alontae Taylor, we hit with that one. That was a nice pick. But at the same point in time, your 53-man roster is a bunch of backups. Majority of them was a bunch of backups, man. You hear me? This is the Who That Nation for you, like Marquez Callaway. Saints organization is a family-oriented organization. He won't find playing on field on another team. Traquan Smith, you constantly and consistently bring him back. He won't find another team in the NFL probably. Probably won't. If we're dead last in cap space, where is this money going to? What player do we have on our team that is ringing bells right now? The only all-pros or Pro Bowlers that we have are fan favorites. Cameron Jordan, boy, nobody wants you. Marcus Davenport, nobody wants you. That defensive line got to be the softest cake field line in the NFL. The only standout that we may have is David Onyemata. You let Quan Alexander go. A player that stands up, got a demeanor, talks up, speaks up. You don't want players like that. You want yes mans and their boys. Nobody that's going to go into combat with you or for you. This is the organization where you can come make a lot of money and do nothing. This is that organization. Like I said, Nick Van Nett, he signed for 3 years for $15 million. It was set to the practice squad a couple of years ago. You can make a lot of money here and don't do anything. That's the New Orleans Saints for you. Once again, Alvin Kamara, he hit the bank, but I never believed that Kamara was the true answer at the running back position. He's not. He had one breakout career. And even in his breakouts, Mark Ingram outdid him in rushing. Outdid him. He tried to play too cool. It's like he blind. He can't cut the ball back. I understand they need to feed him more, but, bro, I like Kamara, but he's not a Barkley. He's not a Josh Jacobs. He's not, what's his name for Cincinnati? He's not a trio that they got in San Fran. He's not running like them dudes. He's not a Cadell Patterson. He's not an Al Giz. He's not. I haven't seen him break out and make outstanding plays like that. If he's going one-on-one against a player, he's going to get tackled. He can't move. His agility is just breaking tackles. That's it. He's not that guy. Michael Thomas wouldn't have paid him. I wouldn't have. I understand you work hard and you're passionate, but, bro, you're not pulling off no Tyreek Hills. You ain't pulling off no Odell Beckhams. You ain't pulling off no Jamal Chases. You ain't pulling off no Justin Jefferson. You're not pulling off Keenan Allens. You're not pulling off Michael Evans. You're not. Chris Olave. You're not Garrett Wilson. You're not Jamal Williamson that went to Detroit with the broke leg. I would have rather him. You know what I mean? Give me a player that can catch the ball for a 5-yard slant and take it to the distance, take it to the house. Every time Chris Olave catches the ball, he going to the ground. Like he's a upgrade Brandon Cooks, or upgrade Kenny Stills. I wouldn't have gave up a first-round pick for that dude. So now we stuck. We're stuck with a losing season with Dennis Allen at the helm. I like Dennis Allen, but I like him more on the defensive coaching side. I wish they would have hired Aaron Glenn. You need some energy on the team. No player wants to ride for a coach that's soft. And that's where we at. And that's just my update and upgrade about the season, man. It's boring. It sucks being a Saints fan at the moment, but hey, hopefully Gail Benson get her head out of her ass and fire Mickey Loomis at the helm, because everything basically is according to him with the talent-wise. Whoever they get to scout these players, he need to go. For real. There's no difference between Gail Benson and Latrell Lemire. Both of them don't do shit. Contrell. For real, brother. Like, the only thing that we really have as an organization is a secondary. We do have an outstanding secondary. And to say our secondary holds up with that terrible-ass line, we only got, 4 interceptions? There's no team in the NFL that only got 4 interceptions that has a good line. The only way you get picks is if your line creates pressure. When your line creates pressure, quarterbacks fumble. But we don't have that. We got a bunch of no-names out there, basically. Couch potatoes, man. My body look better than most of them dudes' body. They look like real-life couch potatoes. But that's my little message, man. Black and gold will never fold, I guess. You know what I mean? As a fan, we won't. But it's tough being a fan watching these Andrews Pete softies out there. You know what I mean? Watching Demario Davis get ran over by rookies. Watching Tyrann Mathieu depressed out there because he riding with a bunch of suckers. Nobody that you will see at a club. Tyrann Mathieu don't want to hang with none of them dudes, put it like that, besides Gardner. That's why they was best of friends. Nobody want to go to no club with Cameron Jordan pitching for their ass, lame ass. You know what I mean? Them dudes are lame, good guys, man. You need some gangsters on that field. Assalamu alaikum.